All right, so I'm editing this in. I'm actually done with the install, but torque wrench, socket, you need the 18. Then I have a different socket for the smaller 12. This is to remove the brace, like the actual stock brace you have to remove to get the new brace in. The 19, this I use this end, and it's to hold the main bolt for your or what do you call that, your control arm. So this is used for the control arm. This is used to remove the stock brace that's in the way, and I use this because I needed some leverage. So that's everything. Gloves, obviously, and if you want to use glasses to block any debris. So thank you. Alright, so here's the rear bar. Apologize if you hear noise in the house. So here is your control arm. On the passenger side right now, this is the nut that you'll be removing. You won't be removing the bolt. This washer, I have all SPL parts. I have the locking kit. So this is actually, like, you know, indented into the frame, so this prevents anything from moving. So when I take this washer off, nothing's going to move. I don't have to redo an alignment. Be aware that if you don't have this, I don't know for sure, but from someone else, the shop told me you might have to get an alignment because stuff does move a little bit, or could move a little bit. I don't have to worry about that. Mine are staying in place. They're not going to go anywhere. You don't want to push this nut in, like when you take the nut, you don't want to push this bolt in. So it's easy. You have the bolt on the back side that you want to use the wrench on, and then your socket on this side. So it's going to go across the body of the car, and then it's going to go to here on this side. So I'm going to have to take both off, and then once they're off, you torque it down. Like once it's off, you put the brace on there, which is going to go nice and neatly, which I have to turn this around. Alright, so the only thing that makes no sense is this bar. See how it's curved? This is actually going to go above. It's going to go above here to get there. So it's going to go above your exhaust. So the only thing that's funny is if you look, it's facing forward. Now, I granted the other ones are facing forward too, except this one right there is facing back, which makes sense, I guess, but most people, you're in the back of the car, you're looking from the back of the car, so you'd want it facing you, but you know, whatever. Alright, so it's another day. I stopped last night working on the car because, well, I couldn't get the brace in. Apparently it's not as easy as what they make it out to be. So the problem is, let me show you this. Alright, so you have the bolt, and you have all the way, sorry for the lighting, you have the bolt here. It's got to go over, this, over the exhaust, under, over and over. So I'm trying to show you. It's so hard because I'm not on a lift. I'm laying underneath my car. So the problem is I have to feed it through, but I can't get the angle or anything to get it through because these are kind of like in the way. So talking to Pure Intent, or wow, it's been a long day, Pure Functions, that I'm gonna have to remove these braces in order to feed this feed the bar through, and then install these again. I may, I hope not, have to also loosen up my exhaust in order to get that through. So this is going to be entertaining. So I'll be back with you in a little bit. I'm going to try to figure this out. I'm assuming I'm going to have to unbolt these and these to be able to disconnect this. And then all the way under there, remove those bolts in order to get that out. And then once those are out, feed the line through. So it's a little bit more work than planned. So this is going to be entertaining. Obviously, I have to use different sockets. So I'll let you know that in a little bit. Whew. Okay, so what a pain that was. So here's the thing. You have to, at least I had to remove this, just one side, so it's not that bad. So you only have to remove one side. It takes a 12 socket, 12-inch, preferably a bigger wrench, because I really had to manhandle it because this thing's never been taken off since I bought the car. So it's 3 bolts. It's 3 bolts and then a bolt here, and then there's 2 bolts on the other end, which go right there. So you take that out. I'll show you once it's reinstalled. But I also had I had to kind of move this bracket for my exhaust because it was sitting right up against this, and I'm sure it would rattle. So I had to kind of finagle this a little bit and bend it so it still holds exhaust together. But there we go. So this is in. It's not bolted down yet all the way. I need to torque that down to 54. But there you have it. As you can see, the other end, is still in there. So since the other end is in there, you just connect that in, and that is the wifey. What's up? Okay, so you have the one bolt and then you have this. So I took this out first and I took the bolt out for this one, but I didn't need to. I took this bolt out first and then I took these 3 out. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to snug it down, make sure this lines up, put it in loosely, and then put these in. So that's pretty much it. It was a pain to feed this through. So what I did is, to feed it through, I kind of angled it over the pipe here and then straight kind of back, and kind of had to finagle turning the bar a little bit to get it to fit through. But I mean, look at that sexy bar. Oh yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up, and then I will show you the finished product here in a minute. There you go. Both bars installed. So what I was talking about is this. Sorry if this is in an odd order, but so you have to remove this one side. I did this side, the driver's side. These 3 bolts were a pain to get out, but I was able to get it with manhandling. And this bolt, and then you follow it to the body. There's 2 more bolts right here, which you can see. There's these 2 bolts to remove this. You have to take this bar. You have to take this bar completely. You have to take this bar completely out of the way. Then you feed this bar through here, like kind of right where my hand is. Feed it through. You kind of turn it around a little bit. Feed it through this side, and then kind of finagle it back around the way it needs to be, and then slide it in. And so once it's bolted in, which I got it all torqued down, once you bolt it in, torque it down to the 54, then you got to reverse order, reinstall this, which sliding it back through and tightening it. Oh, mind you, if you run into the same thing I did, if you have aftermarket exhaust, maybe even your stock exhaust, this is holding my catback exhaust in. So that bracket here is meant for, I think, no vibration, as well as holding this together. Well, it's sitting right up against the bar, and there's nothing I can do about it, because if I slide it any closer to me or away, it's not right at the joint where it needs to be. So I kind of finagled it as best I could. Hopefully that doesn't vibrate when the car is running, but there's not anything I could do about it, and you might run into the same problem. So again, thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for supporting me and my channel. Please hit that like. Let me know this came in handy for you if you installed this yourself or are planning on it. It took me maybe 20 minutes to install. Mind you, probably actually like half an hour because of the fact that I'm recording, getting out from underneath the car to grab things, come back. But yep, that's about it. I started and installed the one brace, the tie bar, the first day. Started to install the other one, ran into problems, realizing that I needed a little bit of help with what I need to remove to be able to get that bar through. So it turns out it's just the support brace. Remove it, slide the brace right through. So that's everything.